Mann, bald gedient das ganze Land. Ha, 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 Haaland, hey, Haaland, Haaland.
Sbaglia il rigore, l'Italia festeggia, lui è Kylian Mbappé. Chi ha fatto piangere i mangia baguette, il suo nome è Kylian Mbappé. Egalité, fraternité, la sbaglia poi Mbappé. Egalité, fraternité.
Vamos, vamos a ganar.
Welcome to Three the Hard Way Sports Podcast. From three guys who talked sports together over lunch for over 10 years. Probably eating a Fudgy the Whale in that time.
Welcome, everybody, to Three the Hard Way Sports Podcast. I'm Bryan Galloway here with the man they call Stylish Boy in Clash of Clans, Alex Shanley. How are you, Alex?
Come on now. I'm doing pretty good. Well, my belly's full of World Cup and, I'm ready for baseball, back to baseball. So it's all good.
And we have from Parts Unknown, Stylish Boy. We have from Parts Unknown, Michael Pipersek. How are you, Mike?
I'm a little bit sad today because I thought it was finally coming home. But, a little sad that the World Cup is coming to an end. And I want to hear more about this Stylish Boy. Is that for real?
Yeah.
It was not his name. It was we were in a clan one time. The leader was a guy named Stylish Boy. But so before we start today, go ahead. I'm sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
And Jelly, remember Jelly?
Jelly. Yes. So we
Stylish Boy and Jelly. That sounds like a really bad rap group.
Oh yeah.
The funny was they were all Filipinos, so we didn't even know what they were saying half the time.
Yeah.
They were like talking to us, and we were like, okay, we don't know. Okay, so before we start, there's one thing I have to talk about. Have you guys ever watched like Cops or like Fridays with Frank or one of those shows where they pull over people? Like Cops is probably one, or what's that?
Yeah.
What's the other one? Yeah, okay. So normally you pull somebody over. First thing you ask, you say, "Hey, do you have your license?" Nope. Do you have registration? No, I don't carry ID with me. Do you have a shirt on? No. So like that's normal. Like that's pretty much every person. If you watch those shows, that's what you see. So I heard that first. I heard Geno Smith got whatever case he had against some woman it got thrown out of court or something. I don't know. Or maybe he paid her off. But then he had gotten caught 2 times this summer already, driving with no license and speeding, and one of them he had no shirt on. So
like significantly speeding.
Yeah, significantly speeding.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, what is this guy? This is our quarterback? What kind of decisions I always laugh at these people on Cops, and another good one is Fridays with Frank. If you ever see that, that's a great one. You can look it up on YouTube. It's one of the best. It just they pull the people over, and just every time, their speed. Do you have a license? Nope. Okay, and they check, and it's every time they do that, it's like suspended or there's another reason. But no one ever carries their ID. How often does that happen to you guys where you don't carry your ID when you drive? It's like rarely. I always have my ID.
Always have my ID, but I will say that I do sometimes leave the house without a shirt.
You drive with no shirt on? I don't do that over it.
And then there's not even a shirt in the car.
I drive with no shoes.
No shoes?
Yeah,
that's not good. That's not really good either.
No, but it's not illegal.
Yeah, I know, but you can't speed with you can't. But the thing is, you can't speed and then not have your license. I mean, it makes no sense. And the fact every time they do that. So anyway, so this is our quarterback.
What's strange about Geno Smith is he had that issue when he was first with the Jets, where that guy
Ike Apalicano, or whatever his name is. Yeah,
and then he left the Jets. And he was scot-free, as I recall. Played really well with the Seahawks, turned his career around, never got into trouble, went to the Raiders, stunk there, but didn't get into trouble. Comes back to the Jets, and immediately he gets in trouble.
3 different times, yeah.
It's just, you have no luck. And Bryan, I'm going to keep asking you
I
this.
need to.
Can we get
I
you to
need to
switch
switch
teams,
teams.
please?
I
Just
need to switch teams.
pick
I
a
know.
few teams.
I need
You
to switch
suffered
teams.
enough. You have suffered so much, Bryan. No one can blame you for turning your back on this team that has given you nothing but grief.
If they ever do win, it would be so great. Okay, so
If
enough football. It's not even football season. So let's move on. Okay, let's talk about the World Cup because I just feel it's been the last couple of days we were blessed with a couple amazing matches. A lot of stuff has happened since we last got together. So who wants to talk first? I mean, again, I have my thoughts too, but let's talk. Who wants to go first and talk about what's transpired since we last talked?
You can start, Pips.
Yeah, I'll start with that England game yesterday against Argentina.
Wait,
Now, I've been
how about the England Norway game?
oh gosh, the England Norway game. That was a cracker. That was a great game. And again, I've been rooting now for England to win this World Cup because it's been since 1966 they haven't won. And as much as I loved Norway as the underdog, I did root for England. And this was a great game. It was in sweltering conditions over in Miami Gardens. Some controversy. There was one play when I think it was Norway took a goal kick and there was speculation on did it hit the overhead camera and drop straight
I
down.
think it did. I think it did.
Well,
What do you
according to FIFA, if we are conspiracy theorists, they said there was no blip representing that the ball hit anything, although there was a blip when the ball grazed a Croatian player's hair, allowing Ronaldo
Yeah.
and Portugal to go on. So very suspect. Then there was a play where Norway scored what appeared to be the game-winning goal, but Erling Haaland got called for a push in the box.
Yeah, but he did. He
He
leveled
did.
the guy.
I totally do. And now look,
Yeah.
a guy looks like he goes down a little bit easy, but he absolutely had his hands on and pushed. And Erling Haaland's a very, very large man. So it was a foul, unfortunately. But the goal that Norway scored early was fantastic. You hear you've heard a lot of criticism about what happened in the England Argentina game, who didn't perform, and so forth. And you've heard that throughout the World Cup. But it was very quiet after Norway lost the game. They made this great run to the quarterfinals. They lost. And Erling Haaland, who I've enjoyed watching for several years now since the game in Man City, he didn't really do much in that game.
No, they
He was sick.
triple teamed him. Man. He wasn't healthy. Yeah.
Oh, is that
They
what
said
it
a
was?
lot of Norway players were sick.
Yeah, he just didn't look engaged. Not as active as he normally was. And then he came off, and when he came off, he did look run down. When I saw him come out, I'm watching the game with my wife, and she said, "Why would they take this guy out? He's their star player." And I said, "He doesn't look good."
Yeah, Mike. I don't think a lot of those. The Heat. I think a lot of them. They're grown. Norway. It's not known for its heat, and
Yeah,
they've been living in that for weeks. I don't think their body adjusts very well with
tough
that.
conditions. But the counterpoint there with England is Jude Bellingham was brilliant in that game. I
Amazing.
mean, wow, just a one man gang. And I think Alex has come around on Harry Kane more so in this tournament. I thought he played very well, and not even from a look at all the chances he created, but I thought he did a great job in the entire World Cup of tracking back and helping defensively. They had him helping too much, I thought, in the Argentina game, which we'll get to. But that England Norway game, from my perspective, was just a great game. I mean, the conditions, like you said, were pretty rough for both teams, and it was a bit of a war of attrition. But it's always a relief to me when these games at this stage do not go to penalties, because then it's really a coin flip. But yeah, that was a great game. I don't know what you guys think of that.
I mean, I thought it was great. I thought Jude Bellingham basically won the game by himself. He was just willing the team to win. And you could see it meant so much to him, which, you kind of rarely see in some of these players. You've seen it in Messi a little bit this tournament, probably knowing that it's his last tournament. But, Jude, he was at the end of that game, just out of energy, and just, you could just see that it meant so much to him. So my spotlight was definitely on him. When the game was over, I just think he played an incredible game, both in the midfield, on the offensive side of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, he was all over the place, and really propped up England for the better part of that game. Mike, you mentioned Harry Kane tracking back, playing more of like a midfield position and playing the ball forward, which I think he's done all tournament fairly successfully, and something that he had been doing. throughout his Bundesliga campaign this year. But, that's not something that I think teams expected. And I think that play was a smart one by the coach of England, was to get Harry back, because he can possess the ball in the midfield, keep people away from him, and play longer balls when they wanted to play more direct. And I think that worked really well. But again, high praise for Jude Bellingham. He just played just a wonderful game, and like I said, was everywhere. When England needed him on the ball, he was on the ball. And I just thought he had a wonderful game. So
Yeah, he's been, in my opinion, and the MVP of the tournament at this point. And now, again, it won't happen, but he's been just that. I mean, like, he's really shined. I think
yeah,
for again, casual observer, watching this stuff for the first time, like, that guy, he's impressive. Bellingham's impressive. I really like the guy. So yeah, he did a great job in that game.
yeah, he had a
Yeah,
great game.
willing them to victory against Norway is a great way of putting it, because that's really what he did. Like Alex said, the passion he played with and the intensity he played with, I think, just carried throughout the team. And yeah, he was clearly the man of the match in that game, and resulted in the crowd serenading him with "Hey
Hey,
Jude,"
Jude.
which
Yeah,
is very cool. That's like, I think the Wonderwall thing is really cool when the fans
Yes, it is
doing
cool.
that with the players, but the "Hey Jude" thing is pretty special. He looked like he was close to tears in that game.
yeah.
So what happened to them against Argentina?
I mean, bad coaching to start. I think, it throughout the entire tournament, it has been Argentina gets their back against the wall and then they come back and win. And how England's coaching staff didn't see that and went into this defensive shell, subbing off the goal scorer, all this stuff after scoring one goal with, I think, what was it, in the 54th minute
Yeah,
or
there was
thereabouts, right?
so much time left in the game. Yeah,
So much time left. And instead of playing like, hey, you know what, we're going to need two to win. Let's keep up the pressure. Even if that pressure we concede one, at least we're still going to be on the front foot attacking, and maybe we get another one to win. You can't blame Tuchel, however you pronounce his name,
Tuchel.
Tuchel. You can't blame him, because so many coaches would do that, right? It's the proper thing to do. Play defense. The U.S. did it, right? They backed up. They backed up with 10 men.
Yes, but you do.
And
But again, who you doing it against? And have you been watching the rest of the tournament?
Agree.
You said it perfectly.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Argentina, that's exactly what they wanted, right? It's like, let's go down a goal, and then we're going to be on the front foot for 40 minutes, and they just played it brilliantly. Really, they just moved everything into the offensive zone. They played, England played a very low line. I mean, they were like feet inside the box, which
yeah, they were deep.
I
Very
never understood that, right? And they just basically let Argentina play whatever they wanted to play.
It's almost like they're
and
having
they
a
protected
practice.
the middle.
They're
Yeah,
having a practice round, just sitting
yeah,
there, firing shots at them.
yeah. And they protected the middle of the field. Yeah, England did, and they let the outside play inside. And both of those goals came from the outside playing it back inside. First goal was, a long shot, which was an amazing goal, really, at that level. But everybody went to Messi. Messi dished it off, opened up a lane, shot, scored a goal, right? And then obviously the second goal, Messi brings it down to the end line, right-footed cross. I think it was Martinez on the header.
Yeah, Lautaro Martinez between two
Yeah.
defenders, which I have no idea how that ball got dropped onto his head.
And
over
one of them was
John
Burns, right?
Stones.
Wasn't Burns the one in front of him, Mike?
No, Burns was no. It was John
No.
Stones.
John Stones. It was Stones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
yeah,
it was a perfect cross, really.
perfect. Yeah.
It was,
But I mean,
because you could see Pickford step out like, oh, I got this one easily, and then he's like, I'm not going to get to it, because he hit it with such pace, and then Pickford has to step back, and it was done at that point.
Because Pickford, I thought, played very well up to that point too.
Played great.
Yeah, it wasn't.
He's-
It was definitely wasn't his fault.
No,
well,
no.
he's been getting a lot of criticism for
Why?
it.
That's crazy.
Well, so on the first goal, so on the first goal that he gave up, I guess Jude Bellingham was caught, like, they show, he gives, because Bellingham was the one guy who eventually came over to Enzo Fernandez, even though when the ball was served to Enzo Fernandez, he touched the ball. So his first touch settled the ball, and then he took two little baby steps to get his feet right, and then he fires a shot. Now, by the time he fires a shot, Jude Bellingham came kind of sliding in way too late. The goal goes in. Everyone's celebrating. So Bellingham was down, and then Bellingham gets up, and he's looking up at the scoreboard, looking at the replay, and sees where Jordan Pickford was, and yelled to no one in particular, "It's in the middle of the goal," saying that Pickford was out of position. And some pundits have said the same thing about Pickford. Now, if you watch the replay, yeah, was he a little bit over? Yeah, but I think he's trying to see where the ball is coming from. And then when they show the angle of Enzo Fernandez's shot from behind, which was a great shot, you could see that Pickford reacted late because there's two different defenders screening his view. Now, if he was a foot over to the right, maybe gets a hand on it, but I think not enough credit is being given to the quality of the shot, and too much is being, okay, where was Pickford, where were defenders, and so forth, because right before that, Enzo Fernandez took a shot that Pickford pushed over the bar.
Yeah. He had three. He had
Yes.
3 saves. It could have easily been 3-1.
Easily. And then the corner, they set up for the corner, and England is just kind of sitting in the box, and Argentina plays this short corner. Nobody's coming out, and then Messi's just kind of dribbling and deciding, who do I want to give it to? Everyone, to Alex's point, is packed into the box inside the 12-yard spot, and Enzo is just sitting there waiting for the ball. I mean, this is a quality player. Enzo plays for Chelsea. He was the FIFA Young Player of the World Cup at the last World Cup. This is a high-quality player that you basically gave 3 seconds to settle the ball, take a couple of steps to get it just where he wants it, and hit a blistering shot. And I mean, I sent both of you a text earlier where it's the 83rd minute and England's got 11 guys behind the ball. They just stopped playing. They were playing very well. They were playing a great game. They had Argentina on the back foot a little bit, and then they say, okay, we're going to try to park the bus for 36 minutes, which is not what you want to do against Argentina.
No, not against Argentina.
Yeah, I would rather you go out playing your game now, defending to an extent, but still trying to get out on the counter and keep things.
Especially since they played so well in the first half. Like, I mean,
they played very well.
It was troublesome. Now, yeah, it was another interesting thing, and I don't know if you noticed this. Go back and look. After the first goal, somebody from Argentina went over to Pickford while he was laying on the ground and started like really, really getting on his case. And there was no card given. So they don't have a taunting rule in soccer, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was to the point where I was like, wow, that's not good.
But did Pickford say something to him before? We
don't know what happened.
You just never know.
Well, just like what happened, Bellingham slapped that guy. But that guy, did you see what he did? He ran at him and took like a swing at him. If you watch the whole, you got to watch the whole video because they have a video of the whole thing. And it was at after the goal, he was celebrating. He ran right towards him and like took a fake punch swing at him, and then went around him. And then Bellingham didn't say anything. He waited till the game was over. Then he came back and he swatted the guy in the back of the head. If you look at that, you kind of say like, I kind of think the guy deserved it.
Yeah, I mean Bellingham's a pretty laid back guy. He's not, he's not going to jump in your face for no reason. So.
There must have been something that it must have been something. Of course,
I mean, it was a rough game, right? It was a brawl in the first half. They were really hammering Messi, and Argentina was really hammering anybody that they
Harry
could.
Kane, and Harry Kane got clobbered a couple times.
That's kind of Argentina's game, right? Like they wanted a little rough and tumble. They don't want a whole finesse game. They let the forwards do the finesse, but the defenders and the midfielders really. They can play an aggressive game, and you have to know that. You have to know your opponent. You have to know their style. You have to know their coach. And England knew that. Like they knew that they were going to get hit, and it was going to be a rough game.
Yeah, they did. And I, there's some players on England I like. There's some players on Argentina. They're both really good teams, and they're both likable teams.
Yeah.
But it's it's just for a fan like me, it was hard to pick a winner. I was rooting for England, but I'm not upset that Argentina won.
Yeah, yeah. It was a great game.
Yeah,
It
I
was a
thought I
great game.
thought it's not uncommon for South American teams to play that physical game. Argentina,
Yeah,
Colombia, Brazil, I guess, is the finesse team in there, but the
yeah,
region in general plays a very physical game. If you ever watched the Copa America, but there was a starter yesterday for Argentina who had not played much in the World Cup, Simeone, whose father is the Atletico Madrid coach, and he's a very physical player, and he was very physical yesterday as well. I think he was playing left back for them, so I
yeah.
think that was Morgan Rogers. Yeah, he was on Morgan Rogers' side, not on Anthony Gordon's side, and he was very physical with him. And I was watching the game with my son, who loves soccer and watches a ton of games, and I said, this guy is really in there just to establish Argentina's physical presence. And if he picks up a yellow card, it's fine because I'm not expecting this guy to play beyond the first half. But I think he did pick up a yellow card, and he played
Yeah,
most
he
of
was
it.
he was the guy with the long sleeves, right?
I don't recall, but he was playing left back. He's a bit of an instigator, and his father is a intimidating presence on the sidelines for Atletico Madrid. Used to play for the Argentine national team as well, but physical player and just kind of gets himself in the middle of things and kind of helped set the tone that this was going to be a physical game. But because he hadn't played a lot of minutes, if he picked up a yellow, you just pull him off. Now, England was trying to be very physical with Messi and Elliot Anderson, who's been terrific for them in the tournament as a defensive midfielder. He picked up a yellow card for taking down Messi,
Yeah, I saw that.
and
Yep.
you never know how that's going to impact your physicality the rest of the game, because this is a player that's very important to England. Picks up a yellow card, and now he's got to be a little bit more careful because you certainly don't want to go down a man against Argentina in a semifinal. But it kind of seemed like they were playing a man down when they tried parking the bus and just
Well, yeah,
sat.
it really was. It
So,
was very interesting to me to see them just basically say, okay, we're going to try to hold and that's something like Italy used to do way back in the day. Italy would get a goal and that's it. They're like, okay, that's
yeah,
how I'm going to do
and
it.
then the game's over,
Well,
but the
Yeah,
game was over.
but that's the style. Yeah, that's the Italian style, right? Like they can play that. They know how to
but
suffer
England wasn't ready
for
for that.
40
England
minutes.
wasn't
No,
ready for that. No,
no, not at
and
all.
then see the thing is,
No.
and so my whole thought was, and I work with a lot of English guys and I work with some Argentinian guys, so we had some great conversations about this today. But if they had gone to penalty kicks, England would be in trouble because they brought their own defensive guys. So they might have, the guys who were really good at penalty shots were not there. Besides maybe obviously Bellingham and Harry Kane. But a lot of the other guys they brought in were not the guys they would want to do the penalty shots. So they might have gotten beat that way too.
Yeah, but it's funny how
Yeah,
many really good players don't want to take the shot.
Yeah. Oh
Like
a lot
yeah.
of pressure.
they talk about it throughout the tournament. Like people are like, "Oh, why isn't such and such in it?" And Zlatan and Henri and they're basically saying some guys don't want to do it, and they just tell the coach like, "I'm not taking penalty shots." So
Yeah,
like when
a
these
lot of
guys get
pressure.
subbed off and everyone's like in outrage, like, "Oh, what?" They may have told the coach ahead of time, like, "I'm not doing penalty shots."
So
But
okay. Let's skip over to the next game because I think we'll talk about the final in a bit, but let's talk about the other game. So my whole thing in that game in the Spain versus France. Now we thought both of them were great teams, both powerhouses. Um, During Spain's first penalty shot, they had a guy take it to I wasn't really familiar with.
oh no, he's their scorer.
He is their scorer. Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Oyarzabal, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, he plays, I think,
yeah.
for Real Sociedad in Spain. So not like a big name player
okay,
to a common fan. But when you look at that Spain team, I mean, you obviously will think that it's Lamine Yamal's penalty to
yeah,
take.
right.
But yeah, this guy, I think, is their scorer. And I think they put up his stats. He's scored a ton of goals playing for Spain, and has just kind of done it under the radar in La Liga. But I thought that, I mean, you said it, Brian. I mean, these are both two exceptional teams, and they were both relatively dominant throughout the tournament. I mean, Spain tied their first game against Cape Verde, and of course, people wonder, hey, what happened to them, which is funny because in the last World Cup, Argentina lost its first game to Saudi Arabia, and everyone's thinking, are they going to come out of the group? They go on to win the tournament. Spain ties Cape Verde their first tournament. Cape Verde probably better than everyone thought. But I just thought Spain controlled the ball, which is what you expected them to do. And again, you expect your stars to step up, and Mbappe wasn't quite the star he needed to be in that game. And none of their big three up front played great. Olise wasn't great. Dembele wasn't great. Spain possessed the ball beautifully, got a little bit lucky on that penalty. It was kind of a loping ball that Luka Dean went back, awkwardly tried to bring the ball down, swung his leg just as Lamine Yamal was running through. He didn't see him coming, results in a penalty. It's 1-0. And now Spain, because they possess the ball so much, just make it so hard for you. And they've given up one goal in the entire tournament, Spain, and that was against Belgium, which was another fantastic game.
Yeah, it was another fantastic game. Yeah.
People have saying like,
Belgium could have won that game. Belgium could have won that game very easily.
Yeah. Unfortunate goalie injury with Courtois, and then Lamens came in, spilled the ball, and there's Mikel Merino there to poke it in.
And he didn't have much time to warm up. It was just like you got to get in there.
It's a tough, very tough spot. But yeah, I thought Belgium played fantastic in that game. If it was the last World Cup game for De Bruyne, I mean, he went out, really graceful. I thought he was terrific. He's been one of my best players favorite players to watch over the last 10 years. They played great, but I just thought Spain was just better than France. I think France's coach, Didier Deschamps, complained a little bit about the referees, but I just thought Spain was the better side. I think they've beaten France now 3 times in a row. They just possess, and they find a way to break these.
Yeah, France had their opportunities. It wasn't for lack of opportunities. They just didn't deliver.
Well, I mean, Spain's defense throughout the entire tournament has been excellent, as Mike said, right? Giving up one goal, right? So advantage Spain. And the midfield to me, Spain controlled that game through the midfield. And they, every time there was a run that was going to be made, every time there was a break that was going to start at France, all of a sudden you felt like the Spanish team poked it away, and then they were back on the front foot. So, I felt like Spain kind of dominated the game, right? Like, they owned possession, obviously scoring 2 goals, but really I never felt like, Dembele or Mbappe or Olise, like I never felt like any of those guys was unleashed where it was like, this is the moment. And I just felt like Spain played very under control, and, you never worried. I think Spain poked it away. Was it their left back,
Cucurella, when Mbappe had that chance and he was about to strike the ball with the outside of his right foot, Cucurella knocked it out just a split second before. They were terrific.
Yeah. And you could see they were psyched up about that. But other than that, there wasn't a whole lot of France peppering the goal.
So they've beaten France 3 times in a row?
3 times in a row, yeah. They beat
Isn't it like 9 out of the last 12 or something like that?
Wow.
They have a pretty good record against France.
Yeah. To Alex's point about controlling the midfield, if you're not watching a lot, you're like, wow, how are they controlling the midfield? The guy Rodrigo is on his jersey, but he generally goes by Rod. I think he's number 16. Was controlling everything in the midfield. That guy won the World Player of the Year like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
This is an incredibly talented team they have. They have Lamine Yamal out there on the right, who's finally rounding into form after starting the tournament with a hamstring injury. He hasn't scored yet, but he's just been so dangerous. He was killing Luka Dean, running down the right side of the field. I mean, there was a clear difference in speed where France was going to get victimized, and the way they got victimized was on Luka Dean committing that penalty when Yamal came through on Yamal. So it just seemed like it was going to be a long day for France. And to Alex's point, they didn't really create a ton of chances for themselves. And Spain has done that to everybody in this tournament. Belgium impressed me with how well they played and how they were able to break Spain down a little bit with their talented players. But, I mean, it's really set up for an incredible final. Messi, commonly considered the greatest player of all time. Yamal considered maybe the best player in the world. Coming up right now, there's obviously Mbappe and Holland, but Yamal at 19 years old is being considered the best player in the world. It's like this clash of of generations.
Well, and the two of them. So, do you see that picture of Messi giving him a bath when he was a baby? There was some.
Is that real?
Yeah, I think it is. There was an
Yeah.
article. The article said something like at the time they decided that was a good thing to do. They would have all the players give local kids baths, and it turned out to be that was it turned out to be the kid. Yeah, I don't. It looks real to me, and I think there was an article too.
I think he just held him. He didn't give him a bath.
No, he gave him a bath. He's like wiping him with the towel and soap. No joke. I have a picture. I'll send you the picture.
That sounds weird.
It's really weird. It's
That's
really weird.
that's some kind of weird Barcelona thing going on. Giving him a bath.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird. So I didn't. So that's but that also tells you how old he is. It was 18 years ago.
Yeah, so Messi's 39 and Yamal is 19. He just turned 19 the other day, I think, the day of the France game. I believe he's
That's
got
why he wore
braces.
19.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's where he's wearing 19 in the tournament.
Oh, really? That's fine.
I think so.
I mean,
Really?
Yeah. I don't think that's his regular number.
I know at Barcelona he wears number 10, which is funny. He
Yeah.
wears Messi's old number, which is interesting. So this will be interesting. But it's shaping up to be an incredible final. I mean, Spain and Argentina, more likely than not, Messi's final game. Can he go out a champion, or can Yamal, the heir apparent to the next great player,
And
throw him in?
Spain's record with Yamal starting, I think they haven't lost a game when he starts.
There's a player on Spain's team. I don't recall which player it is. He's never lost for the national team. I'm trying to think of who it is. Fabian Ruiz, maybe, has never lost a game wearing a Spain shirt. And I think Spain now has a 37 or 38 game unbeaten streak, which breaks Italy's former streak. And yeah, their coach has an incredible record. And of course, you have Argentina, who, when you look at they lost to Saudi Arabia in the last World Cup, but I mean, they've kind of run the table, and Messi's obviously having an incredible tournament right now.
Do you have to watch it on Telemundo because it's Argentina against Spain?
Well, yeah. I'm telling you,
You just got to get the whole Spanish experience.
no, let me tell you something. I've put them side by side, and one Telemundo's like 2 seconds, 3 seconds before ahead of time, which is kind of interesting. But they show you so much more that you don't see because you don't have these cutting off to the sideways, and you have the people talking about stupid things that you don't want to hear about, and there's not as many commercials. So it is actually pretty cool. You
There's
get to
no
see more.
commercials.
There are some commercials. There's some stupid commercials on.
Not in the hydration breaks. They don't go to commercial.
Oh no, but on Telemundo they do have some.
Oh, at halftime they do. Yeah.
They have commercials.
Yeah, but not during the hydration breaks.
Yeah.
Now,
Do you think they'll bring the hydration break back?
I heard they are, and the reason is, guess.
Commercials.
The money. They've made a fortune. I don't recall the exact number, but what they were charging for ads has been astronomical. So I think they've opened Pandora's box here with this. Now, I think they were saying, I think what I was reading is that the Premier League has such a massive contract that you're not likely to see this happen in the Premier League, but in some other leagues where they may be struggling to sign very large and lucrative TV contracts. So like the French League, for example, League One, you could see hydration breaks there. Liga MX, possibly. La Liga, I think, has been talking about it. And I think Barcelona sold part of its team to some media company a couple of years ago. So it's all chasing.
So the thing is, the clock doesn't stop. So that time is added in at the end. So it's not sacrificing any playing time. It's just that they get a break that they never got before.
Yeah, it's an automatic 3 minutes added on at the end, plus whatever else has been added throughout. I personally, and I think we may have talked about this, I'm not a fan of the hydration break because I feel like it kind of compromises, what makes the game the beautiful game. You just have to figure it out on the fly, and the only time you get is really when you are at halftime, when you get to talk to your players, or when you're
or injury timeouts. Yeah.
I think with injury timeouts, I think they're preventing the teams from
Yeah.
coming over to the
Yeah,
sideline.
you're not allowed to go over and talk to the
Yeah,
coach.
which is good. The players.
But I saw guys running behind the goal and taking drinks
Oh,
and
that's
Well, they-
okay.
and then there
Yeah.
was somebody who was injured and then they went and took a drink. No, I actually I have to go try to find it. I saw on one game somebody was injured and they brought a whole bunch of stuff out and then some guy went over and grabbed some water from the
Everybody
from
drinks it.
yeah and they
Yeah, you can get water, but
Yeah,
you're
that's
not
fine.
supposed to collaborate around the coach
okay
and get
Correct.
instruction.
Yeah, which I like. I really like that part of
Agreed.
soccer
'Cause the
it
players
allows you to
play the
figure. Yeah, it allows you to figure it out, and
Right.
and the only moves that the coach is making outside of halftime is a strategic sub and instructing that sub. Here's what you need to tell these guys, and here's how our formation is going to change. Now
Right.
get out there and figure it out. Which I love about soccer. I really love
Yeah,
that
I
part
agree.
of the game. But yeah, the hydration break, I'm afraid it's going to stick around just because of, and I think MLS, they were saying, is probably going to introduce it as well because of the revenue opportunity. I think it's frustrating. Now, if it's the conditions we saw in Miami when Norway was playing England, I think if you meet certain parameters, you should have a hydration break. That's only fair. But
Right.
I mean, yesterday's game was played indoors with a roof, so
yeah they need a hydration
need a
break.
hydration
And the
break.
Premier League is not going to need one with the cold weather. Oh yeah, you need a hydration break. So yeah, I don't know.
But they can advertise. Like I don't get
The
the
border,
whole
right?
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
just stick it around the border or do some small
See,
thing.
but I
Who
hate
cares?
that, Alex. I hate when they do that. Oh, let's shrink the screen and then show a commercial on the right, or they do. I hate when they do that. They
Or
take the screen, they mix it in half. One side's a commercial and one side's a game. That's terrible because you can't see what's going on. Oh, look, a couple of ants
Yeah.
playing baseball. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, but the other thing they can do is what they used to do is say, "Oh, this is brought to you by Coca-Cola," and there's just a Coke logo in the corner of the screen
yeah,
for
okay.
15 minutes or something like that. I think there's ways to do it, but I'm just looking it up. They're claiming the hydration breaks are projected to generate over $1 billion in global revenue
Yeah, there you go.
just for the hydration breaks.
Yeah, so imagine, do you think it's not coming back? It's got to come back for the World Cup, certainly.
Well,
Yeah.
definitely.
Changes the game.
Powered by Powerade. Sponsored
Yeah.
by Powerade, and,
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
Fox Sports is expected to pocket between 250 million and 450 million from the in-game commercial slots.
wow.
So that must be
Yeah.
covering a significant portion of their $485 million broadcast rights fee. So they basically covered their fee
Yeah.
with those commercials.
Well, the NBA, when you're watching an NBA game now, they've got those ads that pop up on the court as
Yep.
guys are dribbling, and
Yeah.
they refresh those. I mean, if you're going to do something with soccer, drop some of those in the middle of the grass or something when guys are running
Yeah.
around.
I mean, they have the ads going the whole game around the field.
around the stadium.
Yeah, how many times do I need to see Grimace pop up on a McDonald's ad?
Yeah,
Right?
know.
I mean, that's the whole game. During the whole game, it's in your face.
I like
Well,
that.
speaking of Grimace, so McDonald's had a thing. They were giving away cups with their drinks, with famous players from the World Cup on it, right? So I don't go to McDonald's that much. And I go in there. I go, let me get one of the cups. Open it up. Grimace. There was one Grimace and like 10 players. So the odds are one out of 10 or 1 out of 11, and I get Grimace.
Of course he did.
Yeah, it's just exactly. It's just I was like, wait, why? What is this? He's not a soccer player. Because I was looking at they had Pulisic and they had like a lot of Ronaldo, Messi, all these other ones that were really cool. And then I get Grimace.
Mm.
So anyway,
I mean, I hope Messi wins just to rub it in Ronaldo's face a little bit more.
oh yeah,
Now that England's out, I'm rooting for Argentina. I expect it to be a great
has
game.
Ronaldo ever won?
No,
You only won a Euro tournament,
and he didn't even play in the game.
Yeah, that was what.
Like he got hurt in the 7th minute and was out.
Yeah, that's
really?
right. That's right. He did. He went out very early.
So he's like the James Harden. He's like the James Harden of.
Yep.
Patrick Ewing, right? They get to the finals without him. But speaking about the commercials, how many freaking commercials is David Beckham in? Like,
Yeah.
Or how about did you see where Holland was driving the taxi? I love that one.
I didn't
Did you see that?
I didn't
The
see
taxi,
that.
yeah, that's a good one. You have to see that one. That's a real good one.
I feel like every commercial I saw was David Beckham, so I had to look it up, and it said he's in 10 different ads. He's in an Adidas ad. That's the one with Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
He does a Bank of America commercial. I remember seeing that. Home Depot,
Yeah.
where
He
he's
does.
Yep.
doing his backyard. He does Lay's. He does Lenovo, where he's talking to Gary the pig. I think is it a pig? He does McDonald's, Stella Artois, but then I don't.
He's the Peyton Manning of the World Cup.
Wow.
Verizon, Pepsi, Ninja Kitchen, and
Brand
EA
Beckham, man. Brand Beckham.
It is amazing. Like holy cow! And
I saw him and Posh. Him and Posh were at the game the other day. She was giving him a hug after the first goal because he was going nuts after the first goal, and then
sure, yeah.
Well, did you see the game before where like everybody's going crazy because England scored and she's just sitting there looking the other way
yeah.
I didn't see that.
in some box?
Well,
Yeah, it was
Mick
pretty
Jagger was all pissed off too. And were you watching him? Because they would show him. Like
Oh,
again,
yeah.
I was watching on Telemundo, so I don't know if they're showing the exact same people, but
Yeah. My son said he's so old. I said, yeah, he's really old. But
he was
He
old
looks
when
like
we
an
were
old
kids.
woman.
He was
I
old when I was a
know.
kid, so I mean I can imagine now. Isn't it? Yeah.
but
He's 80, right?
at least, yeah.
Yeah.
But to your Telemundo comment, Brian, because you've been watching some games on Telemundo, who do you think, Alex, is going to be the commentating crew for that game on Sunday?
Ooh, I don't know.
For the U.S.,
Yeah, like who's going to be doing the game on Fox?
Stu Holton. I'm sure.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
he is
So they can
awful.
talk every minute of the game.
Oh, he's
That's
terrible,
that's we watched the game and Quinn looks at me. He's like, he just keeps talking.
Yeah.
He just talks constantly. And then the guy John Strong, who's got a little Gus Johnson in him, which you guys know it drives me crazy. He makes these weird statements like, "This is a huge game. This is a semifinal of the World Cup," and I'm like, "Is this guy for real?" He's
Yeah.
it's
The U.S. doesn't have very good brawl. I don't like Landon Donovan doing it either. But
very monotone and
yeah.
just not great. I mean, they do have some English commentators that they've had, but
They've
Yes,
been good.
with a girl, with a lady. There's a guy with a lady. I
yeah,
like them. They're pretty good.
I think that's Derek Ray is the gentleman. But I mean, for me, everything that I've seen on TV, because I watch ESPN FC after games and all these other shows, I absolutely love watching Rebecca Lowe, Thierry Henry, and Zlatan. Oh yeah, and then they got Alexi Lawless in there. But the first three of them, I think, are just so great.
They're great.
I mean, Zlatan's a riot. He's just hysterical. Like
He's got to speak up a little bit though.
he does.
Like he's got to recognize I have an accent, and he's talking
little bit
like he's
hard.
just talking to them.
Yeah, and he looks
he has
away, he
good
looks
points.
down. Yeah, and I love when he does his when he rates the top 10 players, and he's always number one.
Yeah.
And he talks about Holland can't cut his hair because the strength is in the hair. But Henri, I think, just does a great job of breaking down the games and what's happening, and just he's just fantastic. And I think Rebecca Lowe does a great job of just
She's great.
coordinating that. And I love her on the Premier League, so I really love that Fox was able to work something out with NBC to get her over there. But yeah, I just think it's been great, and Lawless just needs to dial it down a few.
Yeah, I think he kind of does it on purpose. I think they did it.
I
I
think
think
so,
they know
too.
I think they have him do that on purpose. I really do. I don't know if because it's gotten a lot of publicity, but I think they like that.
But Zlatan talks like he did anything in the World Cup. He was never good in the World Cup,
No,
right?
no.
He had a couple teams that went, but I think Lawless may have a better record than Zlatan in the World Cup. I don't know that for a fact.
He may have gotten out of the group stage at least once, but I don't remember him being like a dominant player in the World Cup for Sweden. The way that an Erling Haaland, for example, has carried the team. They put up the graphic whenever he speaks. They put up all those graphics, and it's 12 times Swedish Player of the Year or something. And I'm thinking, well, who else were you playing with at the time? I mean, now if you were the 12 time Spanish or Argentine Player of the Year, I'd be like, wow, that's an incredible achievement. Sweden at that time, what are you going to say?
Well, so the one thing about Telemundo, which again for me, every time the ball goes to a player, he tells you who gets it. Right on the U.S. game, sometimes people have the ball, they don't tell, and I don't know all the players like you guys do, so I don't know. Sometimes they don't say the name every time. The guy on the Spanish station every time. Anthony Anderson, like Jim Reese. Like he would say Stone. What's the Stone's first name?
John Stones.
John Stone. Like he would always say the full name every time, and that for me it was good because I knew who it was and I got to know the players more because he would tell me that. Now again, my Spanish is not great, but I know enough to get by and watch the games, and it's not that crazy. At halftime when they have the discussions, I have a hard time. That's tougher. So I
You're
usually
watching
switch.
them at halftime?
I switch back. No, I switch back. But then during the game, I to me I like it better because I know who's got the ball. I know who's doing. Like it really is because he doesn't do a lot. They don't talk about a lot of other crap during that. They watch the game, and I
Yeah.
like that part of it. So to me, I like it. And that's what I will watch the final with.
So this is Zlatan, what he did in the World Cup, right? 2002. It was Korea and Japan hosted. He was 20 years old. He made 2 substitute appearances, and
Interesting.
Sweden reached the round of 16.
Okay.
In 2006, in Germany, he started as the primary striker for Sweden, playing in 3 matches but failing to score, and Sweden was
Okay.
eliminated in the round of 16. So he doesn't have like this. I mean, to
Wow.
me, Alexei Laos's World Cup is better than his.
3 World Cups or 2 for Zlatan?
For Zlatan too.
Only 2 World Cups?
Yeah, they didn't
Wow.
qualify in 2010 and 2014.
Huh.
But I think he was in an argument with them, right?
I think
Like I don't know
so,
if he even
yeah.
tried, if he was even part
That's
of
right. He
qualifying.
refused to play. He refused
Yeah,
to play for the team. Wow.
yeah.
He refused to play for the team. Why?
Probably a
I
falling out
don't
with the
know.
coach or something. Maybe he lost his starting spot because he was getting older, I think. That might
Yeah.
have been it. Yeah, he was not going to be a starter. And a
And
lot
then
of
in
people realized this was
2022, he played with them trying to qualify, and they didn't qualify. So it's not. I mean, career-wise, Zlatan has a phenomenal career. I mean,
yeah,
he was
played
a
for
great player.
Barcelona.
But
Yeah.
World Cup, yeah. I mean, come on. Anyway, that's me
Interesting.
putting Zlatan in place.
Okay, so finals. What are your guys' thoughts for the finals?
I want Argentina. I think Spain will win.
I think I agree with Alex. I just think Spain is so good. Yeah, I'm with Alex. I would have, if I had to bet on it, I would bet on Spain, but a little bit
Spain's def-
nervously.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Spain's defense is better than Argentina's defense, and
yeah.
I think that's where the game ultimately is going to come down to it. And if Spain gets up like everybody's been getting up on Argentina, I think they're going to know how to play that game, and they're just going to try to possess the ball away from Argentina, and I think they'll be able to run the clock. So
I
I'll
don't I
take
don't think
Spain.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think Spain is going to react to Messi and be so deferential the way some of these other teams have been.
yeah,
I mean, at the very least, a guy like Cucurella will get in there and mix it up. But yeah, just great midfield play from Spain, and they possess the ball so much that I feel like Argentina is going to have to just be chasing them around the field, and that's going to wear on them. I'm sure it's going to be a hot day at MetLife, but
Do we?
yeah,
Well,
Will it be?
I heard it's gonna be bad weather
oh no,
Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to. It's Sunday. Is it Saturday or
Sunday,
Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain Saturday for sure.
Ay.
I think I'm going to Bubba's to watch if you guys want to come. Um,
What
okay,
day is it? It's Saturday or
Sunday.
Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday
Sunday.
afternoon
Sunday.
at 3 p.m. I think it kicks off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It should be a great game, but yeah, I think Spain has just proven themselves as really the best in the world. And look, if they do win and kind of fulfill their destiny and Argentina loses, it's an incredible run that Messi's had in this World Cup and the last World Cup. I didn't think he'd play in this World Cup. Going to MLS, having already won a World Cup, I didn't think he'd play. He decided to play, and he's been phenomenal. He's got a number of assists as well as tied for
And
the
he's having a
world.
fun time. He's
Looks like
really
he's
having
having
a
a
good
blast.
time.
Yeah, he's having a blast.
He's definitely dyeing his hair too, but he's having a good time. He's really because somebody was saying they were showing pictures of him like he had gray and all of a sudden he doesn't have it anymore. Um,
Sunday, no
Don
rain.
Sazzle. Okay, good.
Sunday, no rain after like midnight. So
okay, so it
they
might be
should be
okay.
fine. Yeah, they should be fine.
Okay, well, good.
And hopefully the rain will clear out the smoke.
Well, the one unfortunate thing is that we're going to have a halftime show at this thing, which I'm not excited about. So that's
Yeah.
going to be a bit
Oh,
disruptive.
this is Shakira.
Shakira, Madonna, a bunch of people. If England had qualified, they were going to have Oasis come out to sing Wonderwall. Apparently,
Oh, really?
what I'd heard.
But aren't they
Yeah,
only giving them 15 minutes, like total?
is that? I would hope. I would hope so, because then you're not disrupting the continuity of the game. But can you end the half, get everything onto the field, the stage, and so forth, perform and get it off, and then allow the
Yeah.
players to come back?
I,
It
I
seems
saw
like
at
not
other
enough time.
stadiums they did it, but they did it like in the stands, so they didn't have to put a bunch of stuff on the
Mm.
field
Well, somebody was supposed to sing in Philly when we were there, and they didn't do it. I don't remember who was
because
supposed to sing there, but somebody was supposed to sing that game, and they
of the
didn't do it.
rain.
Yeah.
I do recall that at the Super Bowl, when they did a pre-game concert, Green Day was almost like on the sideline,
Yeah,
so they were not really on the field. So I wonder if they would do that, maybe tuck it into a corner, and then if you have like some sort of a stage set up, you can still break it down and players can warm up, and it's just in the corner. You just
Well,
slide it
MetLife
out.
has a lot. MetLife has a lot of verandas. Well, I've actually been in some of them for like. They might have places that they could do that. So yeah, let's see what happens. I don't know. I think it's stupid, but yeah.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't disrupt the game where it's such a long halftime that players come out and then they look a little stiff for the first 10 minutes there because they're trying to grow back into the game after sitting for so long, which they've never done for that long.
Yeah,
yep. It will
I'm
be on the
predicting.
field.
I'm
It
predicting
will be
Argentina 3, Spain 2. I'm gonna say.
okay. I
That's
like
way
it.
too many goals. This thing
I
is
know
going to
that's
be
a lot of
on the
goals. That's a lot
field.
of goals.
This is
Yeah,
going to
the
be on the
halftime show
field.
will be on the field. It says the spectacle scheduled for the 19th at MetLife. It will require a stage to be quickly erected on the grass
Oh boy,
and the performance, and then promptly removed.
promptly.
So
Madonna,
Now who is it?
Madonna.
Madonna, Shakira. Who else is there?
Justin Bieber,
Oh,
Shakira, and BTS.
that's the
Oh
Korean
God.
band, right? The
Yeah,
Korean
they're
band.
Yeah,
terrible. My daughters
but
like them.
international audience.
Oh
Yeah,
goodness.
exactly. You know what? The Champions League would just do a little concert before the game on the
Yeah,
field, which was
That's
great.
how I was
It
hoping.
was
That was how I
cool.
was hoping that Egypt
Yeah.
would make it to the final. Then Egyptian lover would be at halftime, but
Yes.
exactly.
that would have
That would
been
have been a
awesome.
big show for him.
A big show. Okay, so before we wrap up, we got to talk about Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. What do you think happened, Mike? You as an NBA
Well,
insider, what happened there?
well, Tyler Hero does what so many other guys do. He gets on Instagram and I guess it's not his primary Instagram. He starts messaging with someone who I don't know. I don't know if it was a random person. He's making these comments about Bam Adebayo. He doesn't mention Bam by name, but he's saying you make $60 million and you decide when you want to play defense, and I'm the guy that teams worry about and build a strategy against in the playoffs. And if I'm not there, team struggles. And it was all implied to be in reference to Bam Adebayo. So they were both in Vegas. I think Tyler Hero was on a practice court with an AAU team or something, and Adebayo came there. He was going to play. Afterwards, they had some words, talked about it, and Adebayo hit him. I don't know if he punched him or what, but apparently did not knock Tyler Hero down, but they got into an
He,
altercation.
he had he had a, like, it looked like a black eye.
Oh, did he? I didn't see. I
Yeah.
did see that he was in Vegas at one of the summer league games, but and then I think then stories started coming out that there may be some resentment from some players within the Heat organization that, well, Bam Adebayo is never the subject of trade rumors, which is like, okay, play better and you won't be the subject of trade rumors, or play so well that you are wanted by other
And
teams.
Tyler Hero never plays defense. So what? Why is he?
That's the thing. That, to me, you nailed it, Brian. To me, the biggest hypocrisy of this whole thing is that Tyler Hero is questioning someone's defense. He's an atrocious defender. Atrocious. He gets
Horrible defender.
targeted. He gets targeted. And look, he's in a situation where he makes a lot of money, Tyler Hero, and as Miami wants to try to acquire Giannis Antetokounmpo, who are the assets? Bam Adebayo not on the block. They don't want him. He represents Heat culture, and he's all in with Spoelstra and Pat Riley. He is committed to the cause the same way Alonzo Mourning was, the same way Udonis Haslam was. So Tyler Hero, you get a fresh start playing in Milwaukee. Call it a rebuild if you will. Probably is a rebuild, but he's going to be the featured guy there in Milwaukee. So be happy for the time you had in Miami. he had a lot of injuries there, made a lot of money. If anyone is frustrated, if I were Pat Riley, I'd be frustrated with Tyler Herro. Like, you've been hurt a lot. When we needed you, you haven't been there. We're paying you all this money.
Yep.
So to me, you don't say those. Look, if Tyler Herro has an issue with Bam Adebayo, have a conversation with him on the side. I can't stand these guys that go on Instagram and they
Yeah,
make
it's so
these
stupid.
veiled comments.
That's the life we live in now, Mike.
They're
That's
like
the way it
children.
is.
Yeah, they make these veiled comments where, oh, it's about Bam Adebayo. And then, look, I'm not one that promotes violence or anything. I think it's kind of ridiculous that two adults are hitting each other and getting an argument. But Tyler Herro, to me, kind of got what he deserved. I mean,
I agree. So there's two other really quick things. One, I don't understand what's going on with Gary Trent Jr. Got this amazing, crazy contract, and he's never done he averages 8 points a year. So the league is investigating how come he got too big of a contract.
Yeah, they're saying it's some quid pro quo thing, which I don't get. Like, is he paying the money to somebody else?
Well, that's the thing. Now, and then there's also this, obviously Kawhi is now back. They found another situation where he was getting payments from somebody else. So
another one. Oh,
yes.
boy.
Yeah.
So they've actually rescinded the trade.
Yeah. Wow, what a mess. Yeah, I think the Gary Trent Jr. thing going back there was tied to, I guess he was playing on a discount or something last year or 2 years ago, and maybe he and the Bucks had some kind of a deal where, okay, I'll play for less money to allow you to spend more in this other area, and then when my contract runs out, you guys will do right by me and pay me. And then I think everyone is saying, well, why is this guy getting this big contract? He just had his worst season in 4 or 5 years.
The Knicks are paying 5 guys for what he's getting paid for next year.
Yeah, that's outrageous. Something they're going to find something out, guys. There's something's going to go wacky. So we'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to finding out what's going on. But we'll see. But it's just crazy.
I agree. The Kawhi Leonard thing is very fishy because I believe his agent is his uncle. And when I was reading when this whole thing first broke, they were talking about how this uncle or family friend that was acting as his agent was always looking for loopholes. Like, hey, how can we get more money? And I'm thinking, more money? You're making tens of millions of dollars a year. And this guy's, he's reaching into cushions.
I think the greedy becomes greedier. I think that's the way it is.
Strange. Yeah, very strange. So,
hey, if you can get it, take it as a pro athlete, man, because the owners are making more than you.
Yeah, but this whole looking for these sneaky deals kind of thing is a little bit odd. Like, hey, negotiate a deal.
Yeah,
agreed.
Okay, well, great episode.
All right,
let's look. We're all rooting for Argentina. We'll see. Hopefully, when we get back, next week we'll be able to talk about that. But we'll see how baseball. We didn't even talk about the home run derby or anything like that. We'll talk about that next week, and we'll see where we stand with all that stuff. But the All-Star game was kind of boring, in my opinion. But it was good to see a Yankee win the most valuable player. Okay, have a wonderful week, everybody.
Have a good night.
Play the game. See you.
I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody.
This is Tom Carvel. Thank you for listening to 3 the Hard Way Sports Podcast. Remember to get a Fudgy the Whale or Cookie Puss for the next time you're sitting down to watch the big game.
I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.